They say the Met Gala is the pinnacle of glamour, but from where I stood, 5 steps behind Amara Vale, the biggest star on the planet, it felt like a battlefield dressed in diamonds. May 5th, 2025. The air outside the Met was electric, teeming, with flashing lights and the overbearing scent of floral perfume and nerves. Amara stepped out of the black Escalade dressed in obsidian feathers and silver-threaded silk, the kind of outfit that could break the internet in seconds. I was her assistant, Lila Monroe, and I'd spent the past 72 hours barely sleeping, making sure every feather on her custom gown was sewn just right. But nothing prepared me for what happened next. As we reached the velvet ropes that led to the red carpet, a photographer stepped out from the crowd, not one of the usuals. He was older, thin, wearing a fraying press badge. His eyes locked with Amara's, and he didn't even lift his camera. Instead, he pressed a folded piece of paper into her palm. She glanced at it, and everything changed. Her expression, perfectly practiced joy, flickered. The blood drained from her face. She stared at the note for what couldn't have been more than 2 seconds before crushing it in her hand and tucking it into the hidden pocket of her dress. Then, as if nothing had happened, she turned to the cameras and smiled. The crowd went wild. I tried to ask her what it was, but she brushed past me and whispered, "Don't worry about it." Her voice was calm. Too calm. The night went on. Inside the museum, the gala bloomed into its usual fever dream. Chandelier-sized headpieces, celebrity sightings, surrealist fashion pieces that looked more like living sculptures than clothing. Amara glided through it all like a goddess, laughing, dancing, clinking champagne glasses. But I couldn't stop thinking about the note. Later, while she was in the powder room reapplying her lipstick, I found her clutch and slipped out the paper she had hidden. It read in jagged ink, "It's time to pay your dues." My stomach sank. That night, after the after-party, I tried again. "Amara, what does this mean? Who gave this to you?" She didn't meet my eyes. "It's nothing," she said, slipping into her suite at the Mercer. "People like to scare you when you shine too bright." But something was off. I couldn't sleep. So I did what every overworked assistant does. I snooped. I searched for that photographer. His face, the badge, anything. What I found wasn't in press directories, but in old tabloid clippings and conspiracy forums. His name was Elias Ward. He had once photographed rising stars in the 90s, always present at red carpets before a tragic accident or disappearance. Models, actors, singers, all rising meteoric, all gone too soon. I dug deeper. The name Amara Vale turned up something else, rumors buried in obscure corners of the web. A symbol kept recurring, an open eye with a tear, etched into wax seals, scratched into backstage dressing mirrors. I remembered seeing it once, tattooed faintly behind Amara's left ear. I confronted her the next day. She looked at me, eyes glassy with exhaustion. "You weren't supposed to read it." "Who are you paying dues to?" I asked. She paused, then whispered, "To the ones who keep me shining." That night, I followed her. I tailed the second car her team didn't know about, watched her disappear into a brownstone in the West Village. A black door with no number. I climbed the fire escape and watched through the cracked window on the second floor. Candles, hooded figures, Latin chanting, and in the center, Amara, standing barefoot inside a chalk-drawn circle, holding something small in her hands. A sparrow. Its wings fluttered weakly. I turned away just as she whispered a name I didn't recognize and snuffed the bird's life out with a soft twist. I almost fell off the fire escape. By the time I got back to my apartment, I was shaking. I found a note waiting for me inside my door. No postmark, no signature. Assistant see too much.